Do not attempt to adjust your podcast player. We are controlling the transmission. We are here to be your guide, helping you to explore local events, the art scene, music, theater, sports, and possibly a conspiracy or two. All here on the GCRX Radio and Podcast Network.
Good evening, Granite City. Hey, it's your boy, Brian with a Y, your favorite guy. How are y'all? You told me not to do that, and that was the first thing that I did. Can't even. So apparently I banged the desk, and it causes a really bad all of the things. And the bill was like, hey, don't. Anyway, welcome to In the Metro. I am Brian with a Y, your favorite guy, the host. Coming to you live from Studio B out here in Granite City. Can I give the address? Might as well, right?
Yeah.
1406 Niedring House. There you go. Home of the Board Gamery, the
Garden Gate
Tea Room, the Downtown Diner, Studio C with private rooms for you. You and your friends can come and just like go watch a movie, like throw a birthday party at any of these venues. Up the street from the Speakeasy. Yeah. All good things. Look, Granite City has a lot of really awesome stuff out here. Y'all need to get out here. I bring friends out here all the time. They're like, for real? Let me tell you. I'm actually going to hold off on that. Let me tell you. I'm going to introduce the panel tonight.
You like leaving people hanging.
I know, right? Like, ooh, with me as always, the voice of reason, because I am reasonless. Like I have no sense. I tell people I'm only half an idiot. Like I'm not good enough to be a whole idiot, and I'm not good enough not to be I'm only half an idiot. Okay. Anyway, I got Bill, engineer Bill, with me tonight.
What's up?
What's up, Bill? And back like he never left, my main man, Robert Nelson.
Guess who's back
again. And Robbie's back.
I'm here. Hey, I like that.
Friend.
I like that.
Yeah. So, real quick, what did you guys what'd you do this weekend? Robert, what'd you do this weekend?
So this weekend had a Friendsgiving going on. Watch the fight. The controversial fight that everybody's talking about. Got to watch that. It was not the highlight. However, one statement that was made the whole time worth it. Like I don't care what nobody say. It was one thing that was said that had me crying, laughing.
What was that?
At the very end, when the commentator wanted to set the record straight about what Tyson was doing with his glove. He's like, was it a mouth guard issue or were you biting your glove? And he was like, I do that sometimes. I bite my glove. He's like, and why? Why do you do that? Where does it come from? He's like, I have a biting fixation. And I bust out laughing.
Yeah.
I could not. And now it's just that lives in my head rent free, yo. Like, I'll just be at work doing my thing. And it's like, I have a biting fixation.
I wonder if that traumatized Holyfield anymore.
Listen. Holyfield was there.
Okay? Yeah, I know.
Holyfield was there. Do you remember what I said when Holyfield showed up? I said, yo, how are the glasses still on his head? Like, how does that work? Like, isn't he missing one? No?
Right.
Like that.
I think it's partial over here. But it's enough that first of all, I wouldn't be at the man who bit my ear. I'll fight. Like that's for one. But I think they friends now. You know, I'm not in the boxing world, so I don't know that 100%. But I think they cool after that. But it was nevertheless that statement had me rolling.
It's a biting fixation. Listen, Mike. These are jokes. If you see me in the street, please let it be an understanding. It's just jokes. Like I don't want you to misunderstand. And then my eye looked like that girl eye from the fight. That her whole just eyebrow just split open. I was like, yo, she got headbutt hard too.
Hard.
Oh man, so. Bill, did you see the fight?
I did, and just like many other people have said on the internet, it could have been an email.
I said it could have been an email.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do this fight through it?
right.
Oh,
The
my word.
the previous fights, good. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
decent. And this one, like, there's been a lot of people like, oh, it was fixed. And it very well could have been, because let me tell you how, if you came to me and you said, I'll give you $20 million to lose to this dude that's kind of a douchebag, but his career's just starting and you probably ain't got the money you used to have, I'd be like, okay,
Bill, I'll give you $20 million. You let me just lay you out right now.
do it.
Do it.
Put the money on the table.
Yo, for real.
And I will stand here and take it with a smile on my face. $20 million? I ain't going to be mad.
Amy would be like,
I'll hug you afterwards.
honey,
I don't care. $20 million.
but your eye.
Don't
yeah,
care. Don't
but
care.
we're going on vacation this year. Okay?
Listen, I can afford the reconstructive surgery now.
Totally
It's
fine. And you don't have to go to the guy that what's his name? Mickey Rourke went to.
No, gosh. No. Yeah.
You familiar with what Mickey
Yeah.
Rourke went through?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had bad facial reconstruction
Yeah,
surgery, and it, like, he was a legit boxer too, so he looks nothing like he used to.
I don't understand some of these celebrities that they're aging and, they start looking a little rough, and then they go to some plastic surgeon that they must just think is everything. And then they come out and you're like, whoa, what is that?
You go from
Mhm.
looking old to looking scary. Like,
Yeah,
now you can't come to my kid's birthday party.
right.
I'm not
Like,
inviting you.
wow.
But anyway, that was my weekend. Did that, got to go see a pre-screening of Wicked, and that was okay. I'm not crazy into musicals.
Mhm.
So I actually, at one point, I was fighting not to go to sleep, but that's because I'm
Coming
not
on
big
this
on
team.
musicals. I know you big on musicals. It's okay.
Why'd you let him in this room?
I don't
He said,
know.
"Why'd you? Oh, you big on? Oh, dang.
Yo, Ragtime is his musical.
Okay,
Yeah.
Legally Blonde is my musical.
I also like
Interesting.
Newsies and Wicked as well.
Right, but I
Yeah.
mean, like, if top 3, like, Ragtime's right there.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
100%.
Yeah.
See, I'm not into all of them. Like it's hit and miss for me. Like some of them, I'm cool with.
All
Some
right,
of
you're
them I
in.
love.
You're in.
I'm hollering. You like
Wow.
tag?
Wow.
No, wait. You seriously coming in? Dee Dee's like, do I come in? Do I like? Is he joking? I don't know.
The camera's not on.
This one?
No, it's not.
Oh,
All right, cool.
It is what it is.
So, Bill, what'd you do this weekend?
Watch the fight.
Mhm.
Chilled out. Got some stuff done around the house. That's the extent of it.
How's Tech Doc going?
It's going well.
Excellent.
We
excellent.
had quite a few calls today with Amron's little power thing that happened. I don't know if it was probably just on this side, but like the entire city, just like a really quick bam bam on and
Oh
off,
no!
off and on. Yep, and it screwed
That'll
up
fry
a
some
bunch of people's
circuits.
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
thank you, Amron.
And people who like need ongoing connections, like
Mhm.
that, they stuff dropping for some.
Yeah,
seconds.
man. Like life
Yeah.
support. You can't call the bill for that. Like I
No,
I don't know.
we don't dispatch that quick.
Mm-mm.
You
That's
gonna die.
insane. Jeez, way to
So let me
come
see
off
this
the
weekend. This weekend, let me see. Friday was Friendsgiving. I got my car back. That was fun. I turned it on and a bunch of lights came on, and I was like, it's probably just the system needs to read. So, and then there was a weird knocking in my wheel well, and I was like, maybe the control arm went. Okay. And it was an interesting kind of situation because I'm like, man, I just spent a lot of money.
CV
on
joint?
this. No, even better. Caliper.
Did they not tighten it up all the way?
Oh no, they did. I've changed the brakes on that several times,
Mm-hmm.
and the caliper bolt, like when I saw it, I was like, okay, I might have to fight this guy. He's trying to kill me. Right.
Okay,
Because the caliper was hanging off. And I'm like,
but it has a bolt on it.
right. So I'm like, I don't know. So I take the pin out and the
Uh-huh.
bolt has broken off inside.
Oh no!
So what happened was he torqued it the way he was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was driving, it just failed. So
Okay.
I looked at it and I was like, I had already bought a control arm.
Mhm.
So I'm like ready to do the control arm. And yesterday after church, I jacked the car up, take the wheel off, and I'm like, oh, I could have died. Okay.
Wireless brakes.
Wireless brakes.
Wireless brakes.
Bluetooth brakes. Bluetooth brakes.
I'll pass on the wireless brakes.
But yeah, so I figured if this side was already toast, I might as well replace the other side as well because they're the same age.
Yep.
So I just swapped both of them out. Everything worked out fine.
How'd you get the broken off bolt out?
I didn't. It was broken off inside the pin. So as soon as you pull the pin out,
okay.
That was it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
yeah, he did his
Man.
job great. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Like I really, really appreciate getting my car back.
How's the transmission shift?
Oh my God.
Good.
Whew, I hit the gas and it's just gas, like just go. It's great. The transmission at this point has like less than 200 miles on it, so
Okay.
I'm loving it. I'm loving
Ready
it.
to
Like it was a
go.
brand new transmission that they
That's
had to
lit.
put in, which is so expensive.
Man.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it gets up and it goes. But it did throw a code, and I think the code has to do with the battery, because they had to jump it at one point, and I've had to jump it. So it might just be low voltage. So tomorrow I get a new battery. It's under warranty.
Sure, it's not the flux capacitor.
Yo, man, if it is, I'm going back to the future.
Do you have any plutonium though?
1.21 gigawatts. What was I thinking?
So like back to the shop.
Right.
Get one of those nice long lightning rods.
Man, y'all ever had one of those bolt strip on you?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the absolute worst. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like just take me now. Like, bro. Cause they don't look, it's so tiny, it's so hard to get out. I remember fighting with one of them for hours and I was like, never again. Like now I got like the whole like screwdriver like crank situation. So I'm like, I am not over torquing this. Like, I do not want this to strip.
The worst of all, when you're putting a new head gasket in and you're torquing the head bolts, because certain head bolts have to be torqued down and then backed off and then torqued down one
Yeah.
final time. And you're supposed to put oil in, on the threads and make sure it's all lubed up and everything. But that final torque, it's like creaking and you're just waiting.
Yeah.
And you like, I've seen videos of dudes that are like, oh, we're getting this. And they're using a torque wrench and they go to do that final torque and gone. And now you got to, it's in, first off, the head gasket's done because it's a one-time use thing.
Mhm.
And second off, now you got to get that torqued bolt out of the head and
Yeah.
hope that it broke off with something sticking out.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're drilling.
And it's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was covering at a shop one time, and the kid he was like fresh out of Rankin, and I don't know if I was like, I don't think he's supposed to be doing this with an impact,
Uh-oh.
but he was doing an oil pan gasket,
No.
and he's going, and he gets the last one, and you see the lightning bolt, and I was like, so this is done. We need a new oil pan gasket, like an oil pan.
Yeah.
And as much as I wanted to get this out of here tonight, it's not happening because it's already 5 o'clock.
I'll just throw some JB weld on it, be done.
I'm hollering.
Duct tape.
Yo, I saw
I've seen some fixes, bro.
I saw an engine go into a Roadmaster, and I saw an engine go into a Roadmaster, and the technician who was working on it, he was like, yeah, it's ready to go. There are like zip ties, JB welds.
I know you.
Wait. Zip ties don't work for motor mounts? Oh, man, nobody told me. I got to go right now. Jeez.
Right? Like, I gotta get back to my truck.
Go. I gotta go.
Yeah. But yeah, he didn't work there much longer after that. At one point there was an extra bolt that was just like, you're never supposed to have extras of anything, right?
Yeah.
Like if you took it off, it's supposed to go back.
You get extras with IKEA furniture, so right? Same concept.
That's assembly,
No.
not dismantling.
No.
Reassembly.
And by the way, I don't like I'm gonna come back around to
Okay.
my
I triggered
loathing
something.
of IKEA furniture.
Oh, this is a
Literally-
tangent.
Oh,
literally
yeah.
It's just cardboard.
Yeah. But yeah, he says, man, that's just a dummy bolt.
Oh, geez.
And the district manager was there, and he goes, "What'd you say?" He goes, "It's just a dummy bolt. It don't go nowhere." And the guy was
what?
district manager goes, "Just pack your tools. Like seriously, like just go, and don't even put us on your resume. Like just don't
Yeah.
don't tell
That
anybody
is
you used to work here. A
hilarious.
dummy bolt.
Dummy bolt.
A dummy bolt. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
I have
No,
not.
no.
Yeah,
But
no.
that's also why, like, when I was doing work like that, I laid things out and labeled where they came from.
Yep.
And there are certain things that and not on all vehicles, but on some vehicles that you want to put back where you got them from. Like
Mhm.
the bolts may all be the same size, or like push rods, for instance, in
Right.
an engine. They're supposed to go where they came from because they've worn into that position and
Yep.
different things. So yeah, I was very meticulous about labeling everything. So there are no dummy bolts, that's for sure.
That's not a thing.
There are
It's
no
not a
dummy
thing.
bolts.
Yeah.
Oof.
If it was on the car, it was on there on purpose.
It was there for a
It's
reason.
not for cosmetics.
No, absolutely not. Now, what I did appreciate was there was in my wheel well, I had lost a couple of those like push
No little plastic things.
plastic.
The
plugs.
one time
Yeah.
use.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had lost a couple of them like a long time ago, and he did zip tie that up because every now and again, like it'll drop, and I'll hear,
Yeah.
and my car sounds like a rally car, and I'm like, okay, it's a Sentra, like it's.
It is.
Let me cut that catalytic converter off. It'll sound great.
I just spent enough money on this car. Like that isn't even remotely
This
funny.
ain't gonna sound like
Well,
a tractor. at the
well,
end.
let's-
Oh,
We'll call it custom exhaust.
custom exhaust. Put a straight pipe in
Listen,
it.
I'll do it for cheap, buddy. It's fine.
you got some deep yelling with a backfire every now and again.
Pow!
Listen, I'll even put a straight pipe. Put the pipe in where it came out, so it still go to the muffler, be a little louder, and I'll put you some chrome tips on.
Bro.
How can you say no?
Just for you.
Just put a piece of electrical tape over the part of the dash with the check engine light. You'll be fine.
Mhm.
You'll be fine.
Oh.
Tell you to get inspected. Why you take the tape off?
I think I might have talked about this before. I had a neighbor who was trading in a vehicle, and this thing sounded awful, right?
Mhm.
So he's pulling up to trade this thing, and he gets about a mile away. He gets a can of WD-40, and he's
Stick of deodorant works real well.
yo, and he got it ran real quiet.
Too. I'm sure.
So he goes in, signs all the paperwork, gets everything done. Like the ink's drying.
Mhm.
He's got the keys. He's got the new car. The deal is done.
And
As he's driving off, he hears them turn it on.
he's like, no get back.
He was
to
like-
Yeah. See ya.
And then he promptly moved out of state. So like
I'm hollering.
Mm.
So was he spraying it on everything or like serpentine belt? Kind of
serpentine belt, like whatever was making sounds.
He just like up this.
Yeah, but this
Up
dude,
this.
I mean, like he was an engineer's engineer. Like worked he still works for the Coast Guard. And he was the type of dude who I remember he told me this, and I was like, this is insane. He came home drunk and his washing machine wasn't working. And while he was drunk, he just disassembled the whole thing and put it back together perfectly
While intoxicated?
while
That's
intoxicated.
impressive.
He was like, I don't understand why it's not working. Like,
Mm.
like, okay. All right, cool.
It's probably something simple like piece of clothing blocking a latch or something.
Something.
Listen, I've done some pretty freaking ridiculous car stuff just because I was broke. Like, I can't afford to replace this alternator. Let's see how it works. Oh,
Mhm.
there's a broken wire inside. Let me solder this coated wire and put it back in. It worked.
Yeah.
I ain't
Look.
paying you $189 for an alternator. You kidding me?
$189. Oh man, I don't even know how much my
Mhm.
alternator costs.
I ain't that brave. I could swap an alternator now, but I
Oh,
can't go in
yeah.
there messing with an alternator. Nope.
Absolutely not. That's
Took
not
a starter apart one time. It was just the thing pops out and hits the flywheel and then it goes back in. It was stuck. Just needed re-greased. That was it. And I would have taken that to the auto parts store and they'd been like, yep, it's bad because it's all they can do. And they would have sold me a starter. But
Mhm. And you would have gotten your core immediately because
yeah,
you know.
I mean, it lasted until I
What they
sold the
charge you
vehicle.
for the core versus what they gonna make off of it?
Oh, they make money off of that.
Yeah.
Just like they make money off of, they let you bring in batteries to recycle for free. Batteries are big bucks. That's lead in there, obviously. And then used oil. They get paid for that too. So like, oh, we'll take it for free.
Of
course you will.
your old oil.
Right.
I'm a big fan of taking the lead out of a battery and mixing it in paint and then
Makes it stick really well.
painting my walls.
Yeah, it's really good.
So Wi-Fi doesn't work in my home.
I bet.
That's
you living there long enough, you were working home.
Like the lead that was in paint is only like a teaspoon per gallon of lead.
seriously
Mixed in paint, yeah.
because I just put the whole.
Ooh, yeah, you got a good shield going on. No EMP effects for you.
Nope. My
Yeah.
TV gonna be the only TV in the neighborhood still working.
You ain't gotta have no power to power it, but it'll still
No,
work if you can find it.
not at all. I might have to paint the transformer.
Oh.
Weird flex, bro. Oh, your TV's down? Guess whose isn't?
Not mine. I got some weird lead poisoning stuff going on, but
I was like, my vision's just a little blurry, but it's good though.
Yo,
good.
my vision's getting blurry just because I'm getting older. Like
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
43 now. I was
Yeah.
like, why am I squinting? Like I should be able to read that.
No, for real.
I didn't even get into my weekend. So we did Friendsgiving,
Yep.
which was cool. Saturday, I wanted to have some fun. So Dee Dee and I went to, we came here and I got my 3D burger, posted it
I
online.
saw that.
Yep. 3D burger with loaded fries, cheese,
I'm
chili.
literally jealous every time, bro.
So I'm serious. And because I've been on the portion restrictions that I've been on, it was tough to finish it, but I'll be damned if I let a meal beat me. Like that's
I
the
feel
truth.
that. No,
Like-
I feel that to
like
the
that's
core. Ain't no way.
Like the fries by themselves, I would have been full. The burger by itself, I would have been full. I saw them and was like, all right, if I eat this fast enough, I'll be all right. And then on the way into town, I remembered that Legally Blonde was playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought tickets to Legally Blonde, and I didn't realize how much of a fangirl I am for that show. I mean, I was, oh my God, you got, I was legit, kind of mouthing along to I was like,
You were probably disrupting the rest of the audience members.
I was mouthing it.
Oh,
I wasn't
okay.
singing it.
Okay.
I was mouthing it. And a couple of times the guy in front, he tapped his wife because something was funny. So because I thought it was funny, I tapped him and was like, yeah, right.
Try to get in on a moment.
Yo,
It was funny,
That
right?
was funny, right? Yeah. Towards the end of the show, for anyone who was there Saturday night, at the end of the show, Warner proposes to Elle. And some yahoo blurted out, "You have got to be kidding me." I'm going to confess that was me. I didn't realize I said it so loud. I'm sorry, but y'all got a good chuckle out of it. And I appreciated the chuckle, but I didn't mean to say "you've got to be kidding me" as loud as I did.
Brian, you're never disruptive anywhere you go.
That's what I'm saying.
Ever.
That's not a thing. Me disrupting me?
Or loud ever.
Loud
Are
or
there volume
disruptive?
controls on this?
There are.
Oh, okay, cool. So
I need
Only
to
for you,
hold
though.
on to
only
that.
for me. Everybody else is good. Everybody's especially when I come back from New York. I didn't realize New York was as loud as it is.
Yes.
New York just looks loud.
Yo,
Yeah. There are no alleys in New York.
there aren't.
Jeez. That's why their
Tell
trash is all on the streets.
First of all,
I
lower
was-
your voice, okay?
I was
Nobody
heated.
asked you.
So now what I want to know is these city planners back in the day are like, oh, we're going to create this great city of wealth and prosperity and let the trash be on the streets with all the commoners. We're so wise. There's no alleys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you still want to come visit. So what's good?
But I don't want to stay there.
No, but you want to visit because it's the greatest city in the world. It's the greatest city in the world. Work,
Oh my
Angelica.
God.
Hamilton.
I know that. I know that. I know.
I was expecting you to
Hamilton
jump
is
in.
Hamilton is one of the ones I like.
Yeah.
That
Speaking of which, and I have forgotten this the last few weeks. After my birthday, I forgot to announce that Nick was coming. After
Mhm.
Nick, I forgot to announce that you were coming. Next week, my twin sister will be here, and we're going to talk theater stuff.
You have a twin sister?
Yeah.
Like real life twin sister?
Like she's 5'4", brunette white woman. She's 42 years old. She's a year
Okay,
younger than
so
me.
Not your twin sister.
Yeah, she's my twin sister. If I'm saying it, she's probably thinking it, which is why we're twins.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said brunette white woman. I was like, definitely not your twin sister.
Chuck Hill says, "Was that you?" LOL.
That was me. I'm so sorry.
Yep. See, not
Hilarious.
disruptive ever.
Oh man, as I said, I couldn't believe I said it that loud. I forget, is Legally Blonde still going on, or was last weekend the last weekend?
I think I don't know. I thought I saw a
Last
post. I
weekend,
thought it
last
was
weekend.
Yeah, that might have been the last weekend. But if
School of Redundancy School.
school, if you didn't get a chance to see it, it is a really fun show. I just love it to pieces, and that's I'm just a really big fan, and I think it's funny because it's about this little blonde woman, and I'm definitely not a little blonde woman, but I love the show nonetheless.
You can be at heart if you want to.
listen. We live in America, okay? We can be anything we want. Michael Jackson was a beautiful little black boy, and he grew up to be a wonderful white woman. Okay, like
He said white woman.
That's true. That's very true.
It is true.
small nose, light complexion, the whole nine. So yeah, thank you so much for this Grammy, guys. Like, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it was.
I feel that.
Yeah. Every time, so last time you were here, and this is a terrible segue. Last time you were here, and this is an in memoriam.
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 Don't make my brain
Last time
hurt.
you were here, a friend of mine had passed away. He had worked really, really hard, and he got arrested and all that other stuff.
That does not explain that situation at all. but
Not at all.
Continue.
Not at all.
Continue.
I remember this.
You
though.
remember this. So I found out earlier today that a former coworker, a friend, a mentor, I don't know if you heard about the tractor trailer accident
Mm-mm.
on 44,
How long ago?
like within the last 24 hours.
Nope.
He was in the car.
The boss?
Yes.
Jeez.
And he didn't make it.
Mm.
So my condolences to Craig Greer's family. Thoughts and prayers with you.
That's sad, man.
It is. But I do want to, another terrible segue. I want to talk about some anime.
Okay. It was definitely a very
Wait.
terrible segue.
What?
How do you go from gruesome death to anime?
They gotta go hand in hand. There's a lot of gruesome deaths. In
Look,
anime.
if you watch a real good anime,
I get it, but that's
you-
all fake.
he said, yeah.
You went from really depressing to let's talk about anime.
I'm not super good at the segue part.
No,
Not this one.
we need to plan the shows out badly.
And I've been talking about doing that.
Badly.
Speaking of planning things out, Friday, December 6th,
That's a good segue.
friends,
He's learning.
come on
already.
through. We're doing The Office for trivia night. It's going to be great. I'm just about done with all of the questions. I'm fine tuning them now. It's going to be a banger. It's going to be awesome. And then on the 7th, December 7th, if you want to come through and play some Dungeons and Dragons, we're waking up in a foreign land and we don't know where we are or what happened that led us to getting there. But we're moving forward with the story. And both of them start at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock?
I think. Yeah.
No, Dungeons and Dragons starts at 5 o'clock on the 7th.
5, yeah.
And trivia starts at 6 o'clock. I would say come in around like 5:30, order your food because
Yeah.
we've got 5 rounds to get through. It's going to be 50 questions, and they are amazing.
Bro, speaking of the food, so you'd mentioned earlier the cheese and the fries and all that stuff.
3D
I-
The
burger.
3D burger, yeah.
I don't know where they get the cheese at the diner, but it is freaking amazing. I'm wondering if maybe they listened to the podcast about our cheese reserve thing and they beat us to it because it's good stuff.
The
It really
American
is.
cheese.
And the guy that's down there that's cooking knows how to like spot on with a burger, bro. It's so good.
So I asked him to make an edit,
okay.
and the edit that he made was it was a mushroom Swiss
Mm-hmm,
3D burger.
Yeah, see, I would like to try that, but the diabetic whole thing, I shouldn't be eating that many carbs as it is, but add a glazed donut.
A glazed donut is the
just-
bun. Like that's
it's
just
big.
what it is.
Bro,
like
it's so good. I had them before the diabetes diagnosis, which is probably what led me to it. But anyway, no, the cheese, dude. Something about that cheese, like it's good stuff.
it is. It's better than Emo's.
No,
Because Emo's. Look, if you want me to stop talking about Emo's like this, sponsor an episode. And
I'm
sure,
hollering.
we're good.
Are
We're
you
good.
telling emos to sponsor?
I'm telling
that?
Emo, sponsor an episode and send me a pizza.
I am literally going to get a group of people to come hold you down and smother you in Provel.
I'm hollering. They gotta melt it with a torch over his face.
Yep.
And like drip that.
Don't
be the
co-sign on this. This is terrible.
It'd be the Provel in the bags. I'll hold it up so people can see it with the Emo's logo on it. Like waterboard you with Provel.
I was just Brian here, like, no, please no.
It'd be like the St. Louis Pizza Mafia. Just come take you down.
I'm from
What-
New York. Bring it.
And they'll have Brooklyn accents, so that'll make it even more painful.
That is so
Like,
weird.
what'd you say about New York pizza now?
I'm saying it's still the greatest pizza in the world.
And they'll dump more Provel in your face. What'd you say again? Let me hear you say it. You're not going to make it out of here, boy.
It's fine. Bring it. I will die on this anthill. Like that's where we are
Not
with
an
that.
anthill.
I'll die on this anthill.
Be like Louis,
Jimmy,
get, the
get more
pepperonis.
cheese. Oh, he's
what?
getting a pepperoni.
Louis, get the pepperonis.
Oh, man.
Beating them with sticks of pepperoni.
Vinny's coming with the thin crust. You got it now. You got it now.
Do you think anybody from Emo's like watches the show and they're like, hey,
Doubtful, but if they sponsor the show, that would be so epic.
yo, you know what? Yeah. Okay.
That would be freaking epic.
So is it like a BHAG?
What?
BHAG.
What's that?
Big hairy audacious goal.
Mm,
You know what? Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah.
that would be epic.
They sponsor an episode, they sponsor a month, whatever. I'll eat Emo's pizza on the show.
But will you talk crap about it while you're eating it?
Probably yes.
I don't think they're going to do that.
They're
then.
not gonna sponsor it.
I will
Like, yo,
listen.
this,
I'll give an Emo's manager $100 to come in and slap you in the face with the pizza.
bro, why?
Just
It's like the opposite
On
of
the air.
sponsor. We paying them.
I'll pay. Him. I'll pay him just because I'm loyal to St. Louis Pizza.
This isn't even St. Louis, it's Granite City.
It's fine.
What do you mean it's fine? It's
We're
like
close
St.
enough.
Louis adjacent.
We're close enough.
I guess, whatever. There's a West New York in Jersey,
Her Jersey's the armpit.
armpit of America.
I'm hollering.
The water tastes weird. The people are weird.
That's Collinsville. Collinsville water tastes weird, super weird, bro.
Does it?
Like, oh, it's bad. And the bad thing is, like, they built a new water treatment plant, like, probably 10 years ago, and
The water's weird.
and no, because it tasted the same before and after.
So I
like,
think
what are
here's
you
what-
guys doing?
Here's what happened. They built the water treatment plant, but the water was so bleh that it's no longer effective.
I don't know. It's bad. Or maybe the water treatment plant's like a drug front or something. Who knows?
This is
Conspiracy
not the
theories.
conspiracy episode.
It might be.
It
Just
might
like mattress places.
Mattress places,
Those
no.
are all drug fronts. There's
yes,
no way.
very much so.
There's no
Nobody's looking for. Well, I don't think that many people are looking for a mattress.
No, to stay open. Like listen, there's good businesses that have come and gone. And you're like, how did they go out of business? And the mattress firm has been there for 20 years and is
Do
running
you
strong.
remember what
And they
it
got
was?
4 employees working at one time. Like,
Do you remember what it was before it was Mattress Firm?
No.
1-800 Mattress.
oh yeah.
So
There was one, but remember Mattress Giant? They went out.
Yeah, that's true.
And they were the fun ones. They had a jingle.
They retired because they laundered all their money successfully is what happened.
wow, that's
Mm.
wild. I remember when I bought a car from like before I moved out here, the salesman told me that he negotiated the best. This was probably the best negotiation I've ever heard. He wanted 50% off the mattress. It wasn't a sale. It wasn't like, oh, Thanksgiving or
Mhm.
New Year's or anything. It wasn't Memorial Day. He just wanted 50% off. And the guy was like, why would I give you 50% off? And he goes, he looks outside. He says, see that? They're taking the name off the building. You need this. That's what he said.
Dang.
I keep seeing this guy on TikTok that's like, hey, you want to start this business, blah, blah. It's just mattresses by appointment. So you have your little showroom, and he had some little space or whatever, and they have to make an appointment to come by. You don't have anybody there unless they have an appointment.
Oh,
I'm like, that's actually probably a good business model for something like that. Like, why have an employee just sitting there watching TikTok on their phone in case somebody happens to stroll in?
Or testing out the mattress.
Oh,
Wow,
wow.
they're knocked out.
there was a spot, Casper. I think it was Casper in the Galleria, and you could go. I remember I went in there and I was, can I test this? They're like, yeah, and I fell asleep. And he was like, yeah, that's the point. Like, you come in, fall asleep on the mattress, tell me what you think, and I'm like, but I've been out for like 25 minutes. He's like, yeah, and you've snored the entire time. I was like, yeah,
you probably need a CPAP.
I had one, just not with me because I didn't plan on falling asleep.
Or sleep apnea diagnosis is part of the sale. So.
Yeah, right. So this is our anti-snore.
Oh, you know what? That's a good angle. Like, hey, bring the customer in. Hey, we want you to come in today and test it out. Lay here, take a nap, and that's fine. And you're in with the sleep apnea CPAP machine companies, and you're like, oh, by the way, we'll throw this in to take care of your, sleep apnea issue for the low price of whatever,
$8.99.99.
Right. And you just come buy the supplies from us. We got a whole wall of them, new masks, new hoses, all that good stuff. Yeah,
that would be good because I haven't changed my mask or hoses in like maybe 8 years.
Oof, dang.
That combined with the lead is definitely not good at all.
No,
it's not.
No, it's probably why I have chronic sinusitis.
Let me.
Oh
God, here we go.
So I don't know if I'm a little bit more animated than usual.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with the 2 shots of espresso that's in my caramel latte. It has nothing to do with that.
Absolutely nothing.
No.
Not at all.
So I saw these ads for a nasal decongestant, the Boomstick.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Does it work?
Boomstick.
Yeah. So it looks like a Vicks inhaler, but it says Boom Boom on it. Yeah.
I've seen them on TikTok.
Yeah, they're on TikTok and they're like, you got to get this before. Well, they sell them at CVS. So whatever, 3 for $20. So I went in, I got it. And I took the best thing I can say about this is I took a hit. Okay. Like both nostrils and was just like, holy cow. Like,
so what are the active ingredients?
I don't know.
Oh, you're
Vicks
that trusting.
Making Narcan.
I mean, I doubt it's got like cocaine in it if it's available at CVS.
Right.
So how did it clear your nose?
No, not at all. But the energy bit to it, oh yeah.
Oh, that's what it's supposed to give you energy?
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do.
I'm curious as to what the active ingredient is.
So after like the 5th one,
the
5th inhale for the day, I probably shouldn't do another one until like next week.
If I gotta snort it to get energy, I don't
No, it's not a snort. It's very much like a vapor inhaler, just
like in your nose or your mouth.
In your nose. You just
It's definitely cracking there.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
You was vacuuming the ceiling, wasn't you?
I left my vacuum at the church. Remember the day I was supposed to bring it? But what I did do was I took my rug, my area rug, and I went to my kitchen, opened the window really wide, and said, "Good evening, everybody," and shook the crap out of it.
I bet you.
That's why I was running late. Yeah.
You picked the weirdest crap to do.
Right? I was like,
It's the drugs. I mean, if you've snorting Vicks, cocaine, whatever.
You know, if that was legal, Vicks would have it. They'd be like,
on so many levels, like, hey, we finally legalized this stuff.
Dude, I'm literally surprised. So I said something before marijuana became legal. I'm like, man, as soon as they get that legal, they'll have it in packs in cigarette form. And they haven't done it yet. Like, you can get it and roll it or do however you prefer to smoke it or whatever, and most people are doing vapes and edibles and stuff now, but I'm really surprised that the cigarette companies haven't been like, hey, here's a 70-30 mix, in a cigarette form.
Ah,
Yeah, like how you have those the vape pods that is like 5 milligrams.
I've
of,
actually never seen it. You should probably patent that.
Well, because here's the thing, like
Ooh, you heard
can
it here first.
Yeah, you can look at the data. Cigarette smoking is actually on the decline.
Mhm.
You know, there's less and less people doing it, and
Is that
If-
including vaping?
no, not including
Okay, 'cause
vaping,
I'm like, I
but
know
yeah,
vaping is
Vaping's
like-
on its way up.
So traditional cigarette smoking is on the decline, and the prices of cigarettes are just astronomical. I used to smoke, and I
Like
think
a lot.
I think that a pack of Marlboros now is like over $10 a pack.
Here?
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's nuts. But
Jeez.
like, I could see that if you infused said cigarettes with a little extra, that I bet
$10.
they
know
would.
some people that smoke a
$12.
pack.
$12 a pack.
What?
And then you just do ratios. You know, it's
Mhm.
got X amount of tobacco and X amount of weed.
Mhm.
Like, I was very surprised. I'm like, I can just see them putting in cigarette form and putting in packs, but it never happened.
So
Probably regulatory or something. I'm sure.
$10 a pack now.
It's over $10 a pack.
Over $10 a
Yeah.
pack now was 20 years ago in New York.
That's
That's
nuts. What's a
insane.
gallon of milk in New York?
$30.
Maybe-
Jeez.
It might be $6 or $7.
That is
Most
gallon.
expensive
crazy.
bowl of cereal you ever have.
Yo, for
Yeah,
real. You
no.
better drink that. I don't want any more
I'm
milk.
for it.
You better drink that.
Like,
Yeah.
what? Get a funnel and like,
Pour it back in.
Yeah, just strain it through a coffee filter.
yeah,
Right?
Why does this taste like Fruit Loop? Shut up and drink it.
Just drink it.
Shut your mouth.
Every day
Just
you put
drink
the
it.
milk in, it tastes
Uh-huh.
like cereal.
Right.
Could you
Is
imagine your morning coffee? You're like,
that Cocoa Puffs?
Right.
mocha.
It sure
Nice,
is.
all right,
Love
mocha.
it. Love
All
it.
right. Yeah.
Making pancakes and biscuits. And this.
Cocoa
Why does it
Puffs.
taste like Captain Crunch? Like,
But you know what? It's a win because my mouth isn't getting all cut up from the cereal, and I can
Right.
still have the flavor. There you go.
That's ooh.
Captain Crunch flavored milk.
Mm-hmm. Like buttermilk with your
Whoa. Pass.
Hey, that my daughter did that.
that's why I brought it up. Tell the story.
Buttermilk?
So
Oh.
I was talking about this at church because she tried to get her own cereal,
Mm-hmm.
and dang, I wonder if she gonna watch it. She was asking where I was going. I told her to ask her mom to put this on, so she probably watched. Like, is he talking about
Sabrina's
me?
watching.
Ryan's probably like, is he talking about me? But she wanted cereal, and it was like one of those parent moments where you're like, it's too early. I'm woke, but I'm not woke. Like, leave me alone for a minute.
Right.
And she's like, I'm hungry. I want cereal. I want some. I'm like, here I come. And I guess she got sick of that and just like went in the kitchen herself. And by the time I get in the kitchen, she has this huge bowl. It's actually the bowl from the Cardinals games that they like put the donuts and ice cream in. So it's like
Wow.
humongous,
Yeah.
filled with Captain Crunch. And she is about to like just go in. So first, I'm extremely upset that you just wasted all this cereal because you're not about to eat all of that.
Mm-mm.
But then I look on the table because she has the milk sitting on the table, and I notice this is a green top milk.
Oh no.
I said, Ryan, no. And she's like, well, I'm like, that's not regular milk. And she's like, it's not. Like in her like 5-year-old brain, she don't know.
Yeah.
There's different
It
kind of
looks like
milk.
regular milk.
They all look alike.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Ryan, it's buttermilk. That is not regular milk.
Blech.
And then I'm like furious. I'm like, buttermilk is like $8 for half a gallon, bro. Like, and it's like so thick, like it's nothing you can do with it. Like, it's soaked in cereal, everything you can make buttermilk with. You do not want it like that. And I'm just
Biscuits.
like, I'm not having.
Captain Crunch flavored biscuits.
Oh
man.
yeah.
Captain
You know,
Crunch.
you know what? You could have put that into a pancake mix.
Oh yeah. Blend it.
Maybe,
Captain Crunch flavored pancakes.
Blend it.
biscuit, definitely no. Maybe on a pancake.
Mhm.
Hey,
Waffles,
shoot mine down.
buttermilk waffles.
I'd
Ooh.
take that. I'd
Yeah,
take that.
Captain Crunch flavored waffles. I
I'd
could do
take
that.
too.
Yeah. I
But
could
do you
that.
blend it?
You'd have to. You'd to get the Captain Crunch to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just strain that out. Just leave the flavor in the milk.
Oh, there you go. I mean, I was just thinking using the Captain Crunch as part of the flour.
But
you
then
know?
we go back to getting our mouth cut again.
Well,
No.
Put it in the food processor. They're like, no, you're going down. You're not cutting nothing. Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the buttermilk story. But now she does know the difference. There was actually one time I was making pancakes and she went to grab it. She's like, yep, this is buttermilk. And I'm like, yep, you learned that, didn't you?
Mhm.
Learned your lesson.
You should have let her get a good spoonful of it. Like, no, go ahead. I'm
This
gonna
is
sit
a
here and watch.
teachable moment.
Yeah, it definitely.
Oh.
I've never tasted just buttermilk on its own, so
Really?
I can't even tell you what it tastes
Oh,
like.
but mm-mm.
I can
I
imagine.
did by accident at my grandma's house one time. Didn't know what the green top was. Poured a glass. Yep.
Yeah, I definitely should
it's
let it get a taste.
You should have.
When I was in
It was
fifth
probably
grade, my
hilarious.
best friend Charles Davidson. Hi, Charles. He was insistent, and he told me the story. I think we were in 7th grade, but he was younger, and he told his mom, like, it's sugar it's sugar and pepper. That's what it is.
Oh no.
And she's like, it's salt. And he's like, no, it's not. So he gets home and he just pours a handful of it and
Oh my gosh.
And now he has high blood pressure.
And his mom was like, and what did we learn? Like,
That is ew.
just let it rock. Like, okay,
Mm.
I'm all for
That's-
those teachable moments.
Terrible.
Mhm.
They're like just like, I can't get with it.
Mm-mm.
Ooh, I hate when like McDonald's put too much salt on my fries. I'm just like, nope, it's done. Too
Yeah.
much.
See, there's a sweet spot though, because when they put too little on there, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
what is wrong with you?
And too
You know-
much is.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, though, you say
Find some
McDonald's
with these
fries.
salt.
You know, the whole thing with RFK going around saying, oh, we're gonna fix the food and all that stuff. And he was right. McDonald's fries were better when they were fried in beef tallow. So much better. Like
I can imagine.
What are they fried in now?
some sort of seed oil
Yeah.
that's the least possible to be,
Trans fat.
Yeah, it was all that movement, when the whole supersize me thing happened and all that stuff, and McDonald's is like, oh yeah, we probably ought to take some responsibility, and they took the supersize off the menu and started frying in healthier quote unquote oils, and
That's when they brought the salads, but then even their
oh
salads
yeah,
were like
dude.
fattening. Like
The dressing on the salads is like,
I was like,
oh,
how do
hey,
you-
it's got like
Yeah, weren't they
900 grams.
weren't
of
they
fat.
serving like Newman's Own?
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff was good. Like, bro, you take everything away, everything good. Like, listen, it's my choice if I want to be fat, and
I feel that.
come on,
I
like,
remember my mom, she was like, look, this guy managed to lose weight at McDonald's like the dude from Subway. And I was like, what?
how
She's
do you
like,
do?
So he would go in and he would look at the calories and
Oh,
see, and like he was counting calories at,
Mhm.
at McDonald's. But here's the thing: you get a Big Mac, that's like 2,200 calories by itself.
oh yeah.
That's a full day's worth of
The sauce
Yep.
itself is 200 calories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When back in the day when I was working at Burger King, I was a store manager there, and nobody ever asked for it, but you could always ask for like the
nutritional
the nutrition
stuff,
facts
yeah.
about the stuff. But we had a poster on the wall in the office, and our little like zesty onion ring sauce, just a little tub, like the little bitty tub of the
Mhm.
zesty onion ring sauce, 450 calories.
What?
400. I'm like, how do they get 450?
Just the sauce. We're not talking about the
Just-
sauce and the onion
no,
ring.
just the
Man, that
sauce.
sucks.
I'm
I
like,
used to drink
this
that stuff.
sauce is jet fuel. Like, it's got that much energy in it. 450 calories.
Wow.
450. Yes, it's nuts.
I
The-
used to bash that sauce. It was a horseradish. I know exactly what
good.
you're talking
it's
about.
good sauce. It really is. But I saw that and I'm like, oh, dang. Jeez.
That is insane.
So imagine the whatever that is in the Big Mac sauce. I'm sure it's probably almost equivalent.
sounds
So-
like future Robert's gonna pay for that one.
I remember when
Matt
when they-
Fleming says hi.
Hey,
I
Oh,
remember when they first introduced the calories inside like fast food restaurants.
Mhm.
And I remember feeling real hungry. And I stopped in. I was on Fulton Street in New York City, just off the A train. So like Fulton and Franklin, by the shuttle. And I'm like, man, I got to get something. I'm hungry. And I walked in and I saw that like the chicken strips, it's like 1,500 calories. And suddenly I was full. Like it didn't even matter what it cost. Like I was just like, I'm good. I just turned around and I walked out. I was like, I'm gonna get on the train and go home and make a sandwich because the nutritional value isn't there. Like it doesn't say it on it, and I'm gonna put it, the mayonnaise and all of the stuff on it, and I don't care.
And
at
you'll
that
know
point.
what's in it.
Yeah, but the number, like it had a comma, and I'm like, no, that's not.
For chicken
That's
strips?
chicken strips. I was not okay with that. I just wasn't okay.
It's the breading and everything. Like literally, it's nuts because they also have to factor in the oils that it's being fried in and all that. There's so many factors, but it's weird because knowing some of these ingredients that have been put in the food and what they used to be used for, like some of these seed oils that were like, these are the oils we cook in and all that stuff, used to be lubricants. And they're like,
for what?
Industrial machinery, during the war, like literally look it up. There are several seed oils that were used because they have high flash points. And they work really, really well as lubricants. And after like the war effort was over and all that other stuff, they're like, hey,
I can see that.
We've got these,
like an excess amount.
Right. And we've got a process for manufacturing them because there was such a high demand. Is this safe for human consumption? Yeah, it is. So now it's a cooking oil, like
that's crazy.
Like people used to fry in lard and beef tallow. And then companies like Crisco came out and said, hey, here's this whipped vegetable shortening
that you like plop in.
And it works so well because it's got an incredibly high flash point. But is it healthy for you? I don't know, What'd you find, Brian? I left the camera on you while you were over there diligently searching.
Oh man. What seed oils are used as machine lubricant? Rapeseed oil has been used in industry as a lubricant for engines and other machine parts, but because it's high level of potentially harmful uric acid, it was not considered safe for human consumption.
But people still do it.
Though it was sometimes added to animal feed. First and foremost, what in the world is a rapeseed?
Grapeseed?
No, not grapeseed. Drop the G.
A rapeseed.
Exactly my point. Like, what? Why is there a rapeseed? Like, is there?
It sounds like some P. Diddy used.
Oh my god.
Y'all need like one of those like cues in your button, like take that.
Oh my gosh, we need one of those stadium horns too. Yeah, hold on.
Just press it. Take that.
Like I have no idea what in the world that is.
Rapeseed oil.
Rapeseed oil. Yeah. I don't know.
But just do I have my volume up?
But apparently it's
never heard of that one. There you go.
Oh man, and we ain't even get around to the buddy or anime.
And we learned a lot though. We'll pass on the rapeseed oil.
Yeah.
The whole time I thought you said grapeseed. And I'm like,
no,
drop the G. That in my kitchen right now. You're like rapeseed. I'm like, I do not have that in my kitchen right now.
Yeah,
not at all. I was not prepared for that at all.
I mean, you can look at these oils and see what they do when they cool down below their melting point. And you're like, do you really want that in your body?
Do you really want to taste that?
No, stop.
I'm hollering. You're just full of them.
Oh my gosh.
Musical jukebox.
And then like we were talking, was it last show or show before about the ingredient that we used to produce at the packaged oils plant that they put in?
That was 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
And Dee Dee was like, under no circumstances am I ever she texted me, you've ruined Twinkies for me.
Twinkies, ho-hos, ding-dongs, everything.
All those.
Yeah, that has a cream filling.
You gotta go back and watch that episode. It was really funny.
Yeah.
But like,
I've never liked Twinkies.
What?
Because that's like, okay, so when you like I grew up a big kid, right? So whenever you a big kid, the main joke is like, oh, you want a Twinkie? And it's like, I don't even like Twinkies. Like so I just never even cared to like really indulge. I did have a fried Twinkie once, and that was on a whole nother level.
Oh yeah.
But still, like if it's somebody's like, oh, I got a Twinkie, you want one? It's like,
they make them in chocolate.
That's a Suzy-Q.
Chocolate Twinkies. Different ballgame altogether. He's like,
yeah. these ingredients that they put in these things, like literally, I talked on the show, but this stuff we would we called them bricks. Because that's the way that the companies that used them wanted them. They were like 1 pound brick things, and they'd all get packaged in a box and sent off to them. But this stuff, the reason we called it bricks, not only because of its form, but also because of how tough they were. Like,
listen,
I could build a nice wall out of these things and they would stay there forever, even in direct sunlight, because it took hotter than boiling water to melt it. And it's an additive in everything that has cream filling,
so that the cream doesn't just run out.
Right. So the cream stays
Now,
stable.
We saw this in the movie Scarface at the very end when he just had this big pile. That's what he stuck his face in.
No, because he would have busted his face if he would have stuck his face in a pile of that stuff.
Even if it was ground up.
Dude, this stuff is rough. It is rough. Yeah, I will not say the name of it because, well, I mean, I haven't worked for him in 20 years. DMG 70 is what it's called. DMG 70.
Never even heard of it.
Damage 70.
Yeah.
Oh man, you got to roll a D20 for that. There you go.
But yeah, this stuff was used in a lot of popular stuff, and we're just gonna have to like put you in a safety net or something.
Give him a corkboard desk.
We're gonna have
to hawk smash.
We're gonna have to hang his mic from the ceiling.
And then he gonna start
Smack
rapping.
into it or something. I don't know. It's terrible.
But
But yeah, you know, that stuff's rough. And then you, like I said in that episode, watching how they manufacture other oils, because we did shortenings there. The big Carl's Jr. wants their shortening in big 50-pound boxes with a blue bag, and they're just cubes. They're just big cubes of shortening you put in the fryer and they melt. And yes, that we did those. And we did some of the different brands of shortening for other companies in the bottles. Like you get in the bottles, some of them restaurant size, some of them regular size, but just seeing the process of which things are mixed together and different stuff. Just I'm good.
Story time.
Oh God.
He said, "Oh God."
So, 24 years ago,
Back in the day.
I met this kid today. He was 18. He was like, I'm a senior in high school. And I went, okay, senior in high school. I was a senior in high school 25 years ago. Oh my God. Like,
He had a little crisis.
I did.
Brian went to his car and cried.
Oh man. Yeah, just hug the steering wheel. Just hurt. Anyway, so I was working at what's it called? At KFC. And we used to get the big blocks of shortening, and we had a guy there, Mr. Kenneth. He was the like old sage, right? And his wisdom was just like second to none. I mean, this man was never stressed. He always had like food ready. There was never a time when he worked that chicken wasn't prepared. Like he was just always on it. Drop 2 fryers, got a third one going, pull one up, take that out, put it on the tray, put it in the warmer, drop the next fryer. By the time he dropped that one, this one's ready. He's got chicken ready. Like he was a machine. And he was
People used to come to watch him make chicken. Like,
like some of the guys seriously were just like, oh man, he's so fast. Like, shut up and work, man. Like, you're empty. Okay. Like watching him doesn't help your cause. Like,
right.
And then I would say, shut up, leave me alone. But anyway, so this one day, it was a Friday afternoon. I had opened. So now it's like 5 o'clock. It's time for me to go. And I was told, all right, fill the water and leave. Okay, cool. I'm gonna fill the water. So we had these giant pots that we would pour water into, and we'd boil it so that we could make mashed potatoes, make the gravy, and all that good stuff. You just add powder to it, or whatever, and you make your side orders. So I'm supposed to set up the evening team so that they're ready to go.
Boiling already.
Mr. Kenneth used to put the shortening, the big blocks of shortening, inside one of those pots so that it would melt, because if you just threw it in an open fryer and turned it on, it would catch, like it would ignite. So he would melt it down first, and then at some point he would put a block in and then pour that on it so that it would all melt and it wouldn't catch. Cool. That's how he would clean the machine out with degreaser and all that other stuff. Cool. So he's good to go. He was cleaning out the grease trap out back, and I'm told, yeah, fill these up. So I 3 gallons of water in a pitcher, and I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm pouring, and I fill one. I remember looking at one and being like, that water looks a little weird. And I pour it, and it's all shortening. It is all shortening. So this thing goes, hits the fire, and then
grease fire.
So now I got a grease fire. And I mean, it is to the ceiling. And I go, oh no. Like, I wasn't a stoner or anything. I was just very surprised. And I'm like, oh, that's bad. There was a fire department directly across the street. And 2 lieutenants were ordering chicken for their team. So one dude's like they hear fire, fire. I remember this dude, Gandolfo, he like ran past me and ran out the door.
Go past his man's name like that.
Yeah, it was like James Gandolfo, something like that. Anyway, he like ran past me. He was like, "Oh no, I'm not getting good." So he ran out the door, and I'm like, I've got this 8-foot fire, and I'm like, oh man, oh, I think I screwed up. I am not a stoner, guys. I was just caught off guard. So I'm like, oh, this is bad. Oh, what should I do? What should I do? One lieutenant hops over the counter and he's making his way to me. The other one has gone through the back and he's making his way to me. And I'm like, Mr. Kenneth, I think I made a mistake. Anybody who worked there, let me see. Ronaldo, Virgil, you guys were there when it happened. Ray was the shift supervisor. And he got me the job, and he was just like, I can't believe this. But yeah, so now the fire's going on. I'm like, oh, I should put this thing out. How do I put this thing out?
Baking tray.
Let me get the fire extinguisher. Now there's one right here on the wall.
Okay.
I walk right past it. I go to the one like 12 feet away at the exit at the door. And I kind of grab it and I'm holding it and I'm just looking at it like, wow, that's a big fire. I think they're going to fire me for this. Like, that's my whole thought process here. I don't pull the ring. I never discharged it eventually just burned out. But then I spent the next hour cleaning the entire area because there was shortening everywhere.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And Mr. Kenneth said he was this old school Jamaican man. I'm going to try to do the accent. Boy, clean that up. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to clean it up. And yeah, so they told me not to.
Everybody freaks out with fires and like deep fryers at restaurants and
just
stuff.
let it.
It's actually fairly safe under the exhaust hood, and like one of those big baking trays. Instead of pulling the fire suppression system, like, don't get me wrong, if it gets out of control and starts going absolutely nuts and it comes out of the actual hood, then yeah, pull the suppression system. But if the fryer's on fire, throw a baking tray over it and suffocate it. Done. You know, you're going to do more damage with a fire extinguisher or ultimately the fire suppression system that's by code built into every one of them. You pull that, now you got to clean everything that's under one of those nozzles, the grill, all the fryers, anything that's under one of those nozzles. And it has to be refilled and inspected before the restaurant can reopen.
So you're talking about if you discharge one of those, you've shut the restaurant down for at least 2 days.
No, it's done. Yeah.
While you clean everything.
Because that stuff gets everywhere.
Like, it's designed to cover everything. And
yeah, that's an absolute last resort. I would do the baking tray first, and then I would do a hand extinguisher, and then.
So at the zoo, that was like the first place I ever worked. I worked in food service. They taught us before you could work in the kitchen. I liked being in the kitchen. It felt like, y'all know the game Diner Dash.
Yes,
that's what it felt like, being in the kitchen at the zoo. So I was young. I was like 15, 14.
Quick pin. Put a pin in that super quick. You cannot do restaurant work at a real restaurant like it is done in Diner Dash. You will.
You will fail.
Yeah,
no.
I tried.
Oh my god.
Get out of here.
Yo, I mean, like,
He's like, I'm gonna cook the food, wait the tables,
no,
clean the tables.
no, not all that, but like, oh, I mean, you got the drinks. Okay, you got the drinks. Okay, now I'm going to take your order. Now I'll take your order. Now I'll take your order. Like,
No.
no. Because these people who got here first are pissed because now they're like, I want food.
Yeah, no. It was so this was strictly the kitchen. And they would, because I was so young, they would never let me work in the kitchen by myself.
Mhm.
And I was always like, I got it. Like, just let me do it. I've been doing this for a while. It was like some months, but in like a 15, 14-year-old head, some months is an eternity. So I'm like, I've been doing this for a while. I got it.
I know what I'm doing.
And
I'm a sophomore in high school. Duh.
One of the first things the chef taught me was like, if anything over here catches fire, especially if it is still under the heating, like you thing used to heat it, he's like, do not, under no circumstances, do not get water. He was like, no water.
Yep.
So I'm like, because all my life I was taught fire, water, put it out.
Not when there's grease.
I'm like, so what do I do then? What he was like, baking soda.
Yep.
And I had a moment when I got like super busy. So they had at the zoo is like a grill that is on a rack so it can like come out and you put stuff on it, push it in, and it's like it turns like a broiler. It's like right under the fire. And we would make Phillies, and like you had your peppers and stuff and your meat chopped all up, but then you throw it on this metal plate, throw your cheese on it, throw it under that grill. And so Russian, I had 2 timers going because I had like hot dogs in the oven, I had like fish on the fryer, I had a lot going on, and I definitely probably needed help in that moment. And
I got this though, I'm good.
Which I had it before it got that crazy. Freaking forgot the Philly.
Oh no.
And that Philly burnt to a crisp in that oven. And it was flames. Like when I pulled that thing, I was like, I'm like, oh. So now I'm on my Brian thing. I'm like, I do not want to get in trouble for this. I had to beg for them to let me be here. So I'm like, baking soda. And I'm like, literally, he told me to use baking soda, but he didn't tell me where the baking soda. So I know not to use water. So the fire is just sitting there. And I'm like, baking soda. I'm like, where is the baking soda? And like another chef sees it and is like, oh my God. He like runs, he like grabs the baking soda and put it out. So now the head chef come and see him doing that. Now it's all crazy. It looks like I lost control, which essentially I did. But now it looks really bad because somebody else had to come help me. And I'm like, I had it. I just didn't know where it was. Like I knew to use the baking soda. I just didn't know where it was. But it was like one of my first restaurant experiences with fire. Like, okay, that could have got real bad.
Yeah. I feel like it's something that they need to teach in school because I keep seeing like TikTok and YouTube videos and stuff where somebody will have a pan on the stove and it catches on fire and they use water.
They freak out.
And what really blows my mind too is like if you read, nobody reads manuals anymore, but if you read the manual for your oven, like your at-home oven, you could start a fire in that oven, and as long as the door is closed, it's going to suffocate itself. As soon as it gets big enough to where there's not enough oxygen, it will put itself out. Just leave the door closed. People freak out and they open the door and they're trying to use fire extinguisher. Close the door. It's a freaking oven. It's fine. Same thing with toaster ovens and different stuff like that. Like, bro, calm down. It's okay. You know, your pot on the stove is on fire. Put a lid on it.
Oh my God.
Done. You just have to exhaust the oxygen. It's like putting out a candle.
Literally.
Just please don't blow on it.
Don't use water. Don't grab it and try to run out of the house with it, hoping you're going to take it outside.
I've seen it on videos where people are like throwing it and it's like,
yeah,
like,
now you've just destroyed everything.
Idea.
Like you're done.
Such a terrible idea.
I remember at the same KFC, the one thing that Mr. Kenneth was very clear on was you have to turn the open fryers off when you're draining them, and you would drain them so that you could like filter out the oil and all that other stuff. And Juan decided, he was a cashier, he decided he was going to be helpful, and he just drained it. So now
it's super hot.
It's super hot. There's a thin film of oil.
Ooh.
And it goes.
Yep.
So Juan goes, oh shoot, fire. and he grabs the hose.
Oh gosh.
And he's on his
No.
way. And I remember everything happened in slow motion. Everyone's going, Juan, no. And here comes Ronaldo. And he just, like, he was the only person moving in normal speed. He just walked over, was like, no, Juan. And he grabbed it, and he had like a handful of flour. He just went, and it
Done.
was done.
Yep. Taylor says, hi, Brian.
Yeah,
and
with
also
an eye.
says,
I saw.
yeah, also
I'm not
says,
acknowledging her.
Johnny once put a plastic spoon in a candle. I tried to put it out with water and it engulfed. I had to borrow my neighbor's extinguisher and the candle exploded.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That sounds like a fun story.
That
Yeah.
don't do that.
So, hey, we have gone the entirety of the podcast without saying anything about money, finance, or anime. So we
mentioned anime.
We mentioned it. We didn't get into it at all. So
See the forest, Mr. Trees.
yeah. So
What did I tell you? Like, it's just a conversation with your friends, and it okay, today might have gotten away from me
a little.
a little bit. But thanks for tuning in.
Do you want to give us a little money hint, tip, trick, whatever?
Yes. Okay. So
Let's
let's
do
talk
it.
a little bit about money,
Let's do it.
the high cost of waiting.
Look at that. That is a good segue.
It is.
I like
Yeah,
that.
dude,
I
that's
like
a
that.
win.
Yeah, the high cost of waiting. If you were to start saving for retirement at like basically the younger you start saving,
Mhm.
the longer that you have to save, the more money you can accumulate in less time, so to speak. So
Yep.
if you were saving from, let's say, 25 to 30, and you saved every dollar that you are allowed to save, $5,000 a year in your IRA, S&P 500, great, whatever, you got a really wonderful rate of return. The amount of money that you could accumulate over that time, by the time you retire, is probably about $2 million. I'm kind of shooting off the cuff here. However, in the event that you waited 5 years and started investing at 30, and you invested in the same S&P 500 from 30 to the time you retire, you still would cost yourself about $200,000.
Yep.
Even though the person started at 25 and went to 30 and then stopped investing money, they just let the dividends reinvest. They would have a bigger nest egg than the person who started at 30 and ended at 65.
And let's just get real. By the time we're 65, a gallon of milk will probably be at $63 or something. So
No, maybe $163.
that's probably better. Yeah.
That's in New York.
What do you mean?
No, in New York, it'd be $563.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Your blessed slice of pizza would be $60 a pop.
No. We're still going to sell slices for $1.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We're just going to use Provel cheese.
So it comes back around.
You know, that table can be jumped over pretty easily.
Oh yeah, I was when he said he didn't like Wicked. You saw me get up.
saw-
Like I was
waiting for you to.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I said I had to fight going to sleep.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
I said I had to fight going to sleep. I didn't say I didn't like it. It was okay. I like the storyline, and Sabrina actually reminded me of a conversation we had about the actual play. Where,
Musical.
Musical. What else?
No.
Okay, musical.
No. It's a musical.
You're right. It is a
It's
musical.
a musical because they have music.
You
Plays don't sing.
You right.
Musicals sing, and Hamilton is technically an operetta.
You need to read the comment that Taylor just posted.
What is Hamill?
You know what you meant.
No, I don't. You mean like Mark Hamill? Like, no, he was
What
a
is
great
the
Joker.
comment?
The Joker is Hamill is boring too. Hamill is not boring. I mean, Mark Hamill was a great actor. He still is.
Oh,
You know
I
what
like
Luke Skywalker.
Hamilton.
Uh-huh.
Hamilton's probably one
She
of my
just-
favorites.
She's just trying to poke the bear.
oh,
Yeah,
she's
she can.
trolling.
She can. She troll
Oh,
away.
you're a real podcast. You got to troll.
Yeah. You should see her. She's like 100 pounds soaking wet with 2 cinder blocks in her pocket. She's
I'm hollering. Talk about your viewers is not a good way to get views.
she's not a viewer. She's a regular. She comes on the show.
Yeah, she does.
Oh,
She
okay.
does.
Well,
Kick rocks with flip flops.
I'm hollering.
Jeez.
I'm hollering.
She corrected herself.
I saw autocorrect. I'm not acknowledging that. Acknowledge me. Roman
hollering.
Reigns.
Well, anyway, I told her we had a conversation about the musical
Mhm.
where I was like, man, I say this is a good example of the road to evil is paved on good intentions.
Mhm.
And you see in the Wizard of Oz all the like stuff that happened, but you didn't see like, oh, there was some genuine intent in that. It just kind of blew up the wrong way, and here we are.
So there is a spiritual successor to Wicked. It's called Twisted. And it's the story of a royal vizier in Agrabah. This story was done by Star Kid at Michigan. I want to say Michigan State University. It was, dude was on, he was a Disney guy. Darren Criss, he was on Glee. He was one of the founding members of Star Kid.
I'm horrible with names.
Yeah. There was another guy, Joey something or the other. In any case, so they did Twisted, and Twisted was the story of Aladdin told through the eyes of Jafar, and Jafar is the protagonist. So Jafar, he's just trying to maintain order, and here's this kid running around stealing people's stuff. Oh my gosh, like, we have to stop him. Why is nobody stopping him? Fine, I'll do it myself. So he becomes a genie in hopes of stopping Aladdin from wreaking havoc through Agrabah.
Jeez. That sounds kind of good, actually.
Right? It's on YouTube. Look up Star Kid. Yeah. They also did a Harry Potter musical. They tried to call it a Harry Potter musical, and J.K. Rowling and all her people were like, take it down.
Yeah. That's
I
like,
have
it's
lawyers.
like trying to use something Disney. Don't.
Or Datney.
Cease and desist.
Datney. Disney. Datney.
I'm done.
Yeah, we need a soundboard.
Okay.
Bad.
That was can we get him on camera doing Disney and Datney?
You can't see his knees.
Oh, you
Can't
can't
see
see
my
his knees?
knees? No.
Point Disney.
Disney. Datney.
There you go. There you go. Folks, this has been a wonderful, thank you for spending the last 75 minutes with us. It's been fun. I want to wish a quick happy birthday to Felicia Mathis, my sister back home, my aunt Thelma. She did makeup and hair for Broadway and for television. She did Phantom of the Opera for 34 to 35 years. They were on the 15th. Tomorrow is Leanne's birthday. I keep forgetting to do this, so I'm going to do it now. Blair Ackerman. Hi. She watches it tomorrow and she forgets, like, she's like, she texts me, you didn't say hi. Emily, if you're watching, hello to you too. Anybody that I might have shouted out on the podcast tonight, thank you so much. Let me see, any honorable mentions? Not that I can think of, not with the 12 seconds that I have left. Next week is the 25th, and we will be here with Leanne Cosette Carruthers, and we're going to talk Broadway. And she's my twin sister, so it'll be fun. I've already confirmed her for it.
Sweet.
And you know, Seth, thank you for helping me confirm that. Let me see. From Granite City, Studio B. You can't see it, but I can. Out here with the Board Game Room, the Downtown Diner, the Garden Gate Tea Room, Studio C next door. We're from Studio B, 62040. Yeah, that's the zip code.
I'm surprised.
I am too. I usually have my mug, and that's the cheat, but I never say it with the mug. This has been In the Metro. Thank you so much. You're awesome, amazing, and fantastic. Don't let anybody make you feel differently. Have a great week.
Peace.